messed up my camera now. This is wonderful. And I don't have my thingamajig. Okay. one viewer is probably myself. I should do something more interesting. I have one viewer. The one viewer is probably myself. Something more interesting. Jason? Jason just joined the stream. The stream. Oh, Matthew's on too. That's a blessing. I'm going to close out my my YouTube video. Which crackhead does mapping? Crackhead does mapping, join the stream. Shoot. Yeah, Crack Beaver, Crackhead does mapping. Welcome, you guys. I'm not allowed on Discord anymore. Not allowed within a 500-mile radius, unfortunately. But that is alright. Glad to be streaming YouTube videos. Thoughts on the pattern? What pattern? Which pattern? Trump beating women? I mean, I guess the pattern could be Trump beating women. I don't exactly know what to have up during the stream. Maybe just my face. Maybe I could make multiple streaming methods. Really sick right now, about to pass out. God bless. Hope you get better then. This is a prayer chat. The prayer chat. Patriot Front, not pattern. My bad. Patriot Front. We should consider getting an Urbit planet. Urbit planet. Patriot Front is alright. I don't know. Urbit.live. Shop for Urbit planets? What? Urbit Planet Market. Buy planets. Who's out here selling these planets? Is this valid capitalism? Selling and buying planets we haven't visited yet? Are these real planets? For real though, where's the Urbit planets? Yeah, good. Oh, mold bug selling planets. Is that real? Is mold bug selling planets? Oh, there's urbit.org. Wait. Really? Native planet device and simply run Urbit at home? I don't understand. Urbit network has never been easier. Learn how to join in seconds through a hosting provider or run Urbit yourself. Well, I'm interested. Overview. This may actually be mold bug selling planets. I thought it was a joke. It may actually be mold bug selling planets. Hold up. We'd be free from Discord, Amino, and the Reddit. Yes! Yes, I really need something like that. Hold up. The way things are going, Megacorp will always control our apps and services. because we can no longer run them ourselves. The only way out of this mess is a completely new platform that's owned and controlled by its users. Urbit is a new OS and peer-to-peer network that's simple by design, built to last forever, 100% owned by its users. Under the hood, Urbit is a clean slate software stack, compact enough that an individual developer can understand and control it completely. Ooh, I like it. I'm interested. We built this new stack to give people a single integrated tool for communicating and building communities, a tool they can trust, control, and extend to their liking. We want to do away with the terrible user experience of the current Frankenstack of apps and services that we all use today. Totally agree there. Urbit is designed to become an effective, customizable productivity tool for collaborators and a calm, non-invasive communication tool for friends and families. This probably sounds crazy, so let's get concrete and talk about 1, Urbit as a piece of technology, and 2, Urbit as a user experience. By the way, this might be weird, but is there a different way that I can call you guys without, I don't know, opening a full-on Zoom? It would be nice to have you guys up for the stream, although it'd only be me, which gets weird if it's only me. I don't know how I'm going to be a streamer if it always gets too weird with just me by myself. Alright. OS and ID, okay. Urbit OS is a new, carefully architected software stack, a VM programming language, and kernel designed, while Zoom allows POG backgrounds. I know. Frankly, I was inspired by that Zoom call the other day, and I thought it was really nice, the Zoom call that me and Jason had with Walter Block on the Gentleman's Assembly YouTube channel, which I should totally allow him to shout out. But we had a talk with Walter Block, and that was very good. I liked the backgrounds. This background here, I think it sucks a lot more. Like, very clunky. Zoom did way better with that technology. Wish they could have gotten that for OBS Studio, though. That would be killer. That'd be awesome for OBS Studio. By the way, it would be great to get some Toki Pona down or something. I actually planned on making a language for, I don't know, either an alternate history thing I was going to work on, or just a legit language, which is a good idea. I'm going to skip the actual way the technology works. I'm not good enough to get all of that anyways. I'm a social guy. But I'm pretty good at stuff, you know, crypto wallet. Crypto wallet. That tells me all I need to know. Crypto wallet, that's good. Oh yeah, I'd love to zoom. I'd love to zoom. Oomy zoomy. I think if I wanted to set up like a Zoom thing on here, I would probably... Ew. I had pizza, I had garlic. I think I had got garlic on my desk. But if I wanted to set up a Zoom, I'd probably have to get rid of the personal camera I got on and just get into a Zoom tab. I'd make that tab part of my screen, do whatever else. And good luck with banishing the demon, by the way. We want Urbit to be a single, simple interface for your whole digital life. Over the years, Urbit has been built in public as an open source project. Anyone can join the network and check out what we're up to. It's a bit like singing onto IRC in the early 90s. In early 2020, Telon... Telon? I guess Elon was taken already. I would love for you to be part of the stream, by the way, Jason. Frankly, I would like to get my own show going on here, and currently we're very primitive as of now. I put together the very least stuff that I could. Yeah, clip moment sounds good. I put together very little here. That's okay, because I'm gonna get something up and going here. I have more viewers than I ever did on my last streams. Also, it's gonna be weird when I'm just replying in the chat because I get upset about the lag. I thought live streamers were just joking me about the lag. No, live stream lag is crazy. It's like, feels like 30 seconds or something. Like, you send a message, you're gonna have to wait like I'm an AI bot. Wait 30 seconds for me to reply to it. Which could be annoying. Telon released Urbit OS 1, now called Landscape. A minimal interface for group communication. I actually wonder what it would look like. Over time, Urbit will grow into a system that can bring together all our different modes of communicating. Chat, payments, documents, images, biometric data. Okay, well, I mean, I hope they don't want to... I hope they weren't, like, going for, you know, least likely Mark of the Beast of the Year award. Some people definitely call all of that sus, but it's anti-Mark if you really think about it, because it's probably decentralized. We want individuals and their communities to be able to both control their software, in fact, through the source code, and in action through a simple interface. Interfaces are important. A lot of people can't code. I only recently coded small stuff, which was very clearly laid out for me. And see, there's that lag again. While it's decentralized. I said that to, like, 30 seconds ago. Or more. I don't know. We want to leave behind a world of apps and services, for one where we can bring together everything in one place. And in doing so, ordinary users can create customized digital environments for their friends and communities. To see how we're going to get there, let's walk through these two pieces of new technology, individually, Urbit OS and Urbit ID. Well then, we'll then talk about our vision for the future and how we'll get there. For technical people, it's important to note that Urbit as a stack is in no way required to be used together. Don't like our client? Feel free to build your own. Just like the Urbit ID system, no problem, use it. Ultimately, we think new technology, okay. Developer mailing list, that's cool. Well, I could check out Urbit OS. Urbit OS, let's check it. For the most part, we use our laptops simply as access points to Megacorp services. Our phones are the same. These services are amazing and convenient. But for that convenience, we've traded away control, ownership, and privacy. The way we live our digital lives is completely out of our hands. Today's megacorp monopolies retain their control because of one central technical advantage. They make the server side usable. Urbit OS is built to break through these monopolies at the central point of control. Urbit OS makes the server side usable for individuals without the need for Megacorp to run their software. We've already been through this before. In 1974, a computer was a mainframe the size of a room and was shared by hundreds of people. By 1984, a computer was the size of a desk. Oh wait, sorry. In 1974, and then by 1984, okay. The size of a desk, and everyone had their own PC. By 1984, everyone had their own PC. I mean, let's be chill here now. Not everyone had their own PC in 1984, but I get it. the PC was more flexible and more fun, so it won by a wide margin. Then, with the rise of the internet, the PC's flexibility slowly became irrelevant. Today, we're more or less back to the time-sharing model of 1970s. Urbit OS is the PC to Megacorp's mainframe. It's more flexible, more fun, and most of all, poised to capture the everyday creativity of the individual. Let's talk about how we're going to pull this off from a technical standpoint, and our vision for using Urbit. Architecture. Urbit OS is a completely new, carefully architected software stack, a VM programming language, and kernel designed to run software for an individual. Urbit OS is a program that runs on almost any cloud server, most laptops and many phones, anything with Unix and an internet connection. By the way, you guys can still type in chat. You won't be interrupting me. I'll still respond. Okay. I actually want to check out this image real quick. Oh wait, I don't even have to do that. Okay. Oh, this is interesting. I mean, it seems very Linux Mac versioned, but Urbit OS landscape gal app served by IRE. You have my channels, weather, terminal, Bitcoin, groups, bridge, azimuth, Ethereum smart contract to manage user IDs. I love that. Yeah, I heard a lot of stuff about Ethereum smart contracts. Mostly about renting, but that's horrific. Ugh. AIMS peer-to-peer network, bin, timer, file system. Oh, you can have a file system. Drill, web server, app manager, web client, crypto key management. Gonna start a Zoom soon. Alright. If you do start a Zoom, then a Zoomy Soonie, then I'll have to fix up my OBS thing. Actually, I'll just go into my OBS thing and right now and make another scene. I'll call it the Zoom scene. I'm not gonna have it selected though. Shoot. It's gonna select it anyways. That's unfortunate. I'll just try and set it up anyways. Probably gonna be a window capture. It's gonna be Zoom capture. No, not my YouTube chat. Not that. It's not anything opened right now. I'll just cancel it. Very sorry for the weirdness of this. I'm gonna delete that. Yes. I'm gonna keep it on this one for right now. When the Zoom is open, I will join. Also, you can send the Zoom link in Messenger. I have that opened on my PC. By the way, I should check my OBS. What all can you guys see on the screen? Okay, yeah, you guys can see everything. I was worried you wouldn't be able to see the top part, but no, I just covered up my search bar and everything. Okay. The main thing to understand is I don't really need to see all of their advertising. I kind of just want to see what Urbit looks like. Urbit. Just Urbit. Just want to see what it looks like when you use it. Wait a second. Oh no, you weren't even lying to me. It was created by neo-reactionary political blogger Curtis Yarvin. That is wonderful. Wow. That guy's a genius. I love this. Curtis Yarvin's great. Oh, that's lovely. Pray to God he gets saved and becomes a really cool Baptist. That would be great. Okay, let's see it. Welcome to Urbit. Maybe it'll have him in it. Hopefully I don't get a copyright for this one, but that's probably like nerd talk. Copyright. What are you building?
Urbit is a clean slate global computing platform. It's a complete redesign of programming.
Terry Davis,
Urbit is a protocol, a language, an OS, a database, and a digital identity.
Refined
No one has ever
Terry
tried to
Davis.
build anything like Urbit before.
I don't know.
And Urbit is completely open source and patent-free. Urbit as a tool is designed to be a personal cloud server. A personal server is a complete redesign of the cloud user experience. Instead of running apps on the developer's machine, you'll run the apps on your own virtual computer. You'll own and control your own data, code, and identity. A lot of people have tried to build personal servers, but no one has succeeded yet. We think the personal server isn't a practical product if it means a personal Linux server on the public internet. My parents are not Linux system administrators. But if it's not on the internet, what network is it on? And if it's not running Linux, what's it running? Welcome to Urbit.
When I first saw the internet, it was 1986.
It's him!
In 1986, the internet itself was a social network. The whole network was both safe and free. There was no spam, there was no advertising, no one even owned the internet. The internet won. We all use it today. But the internet also lost. We just use it as a digital modem to dial in to centralized servers. Facebook is the new AOL. As a peer-to-peer network, the internet is dead and it can't be fixed. And since we can't fix the internet, we need to replace it. And there's only one way to replace a network. We need to build a new internet on top of the old internet. And technically, our new network can't just be a copy of the old network, or we'll fail again. And it's not just the protocol we need to replace. One of the biggest technical problems of the old internet is that it's not just the 70s design, it's two 70s designs, TCP/IP and Unix. The next platform can't be broken in half. The OS and the protocol have to be defined as a single coherent system. So to really solve this problem, we need to redesign computing itself from a clean slate, and this time we have to get it right. I quit my job in 2002 to solve this problem. I finished the first full prototype of Urbit in 2013.
I first used the internet in 1996. For me, the internet was always centralized. I never experienced the alternative, but I knew it was possible. I assumed that the spirit of the PC would just sort of automatically extend itself to the server side. I thought the internet would evolve into a network of personal servers, since a general-purpose personal computer is such a fantastic tool. Today, there are a lot of projects trying to re-decentralize the web. When I saw the first prototype of Urbit in 2013, it was obvious to me that it was the right approach. There's a huge number of problems in building a decentralized network. Your instinct is to solve them one at a time, but that's exactly wrong. You have to solve them all in one coherent system.
Let's take a quick technical look at Urbit from the programmer's perspective. Urbit runs as a Unix process that uses UDP for its own encrypted peer-to-peer network, and HTTP to serve and query the web. It uses event-source persistence with an append log and a checkpoint, except that most databases don't send UDP packets. Urbit could be any normal database. But a normal database is a special-purpose storage subsystem. It's part of a computer, not the whole thing. Urbit is an ACID database, which is also a complete general-purpose virtual computer. We call it a solid-state interpreter. Imagine never having to move data between memory and disk again. Imagine a computer with one brain, not two. Imagine a world where a data type, a database schema, and a network protocol are the same thing. One concrete cause of centralization in today's internet is a difference in programming cost between a closed centralized solution and an open decentralized one. Let's say we're writing a tic-tac-toe app. In the centralized design, the game board is one data structure. Your score and mine are two variables. You'll be done in a couple of hours. As an open decentralized solution, you're building a federated system. You need a standard protocol for communicating tic-tac-toe moves. Maybe you should work through the IETF to write an RFC for OTTP, the Open Tic-Tac-Toe Protocol. You might be done in 2018. When solving a problem the wrong way takes 2 hours, and solving it the right way takes 2 years, it's going to get solved the wrong way. So why Urbit? For distributed systems, Urbit has pros and cons. The cons are you need to learn a new functional language. The pros are you get exactly once delivery of typed, validated, transactional, encrypted, and authenticated messages. It's still a little bit harder to build the distributed solution, but it's not orders of magnitude harder. Innovation is a responsibility. If you're making a big technical deviation, you need to show big technical wins. We think Urbit has these kinds of wins, and more than just these two.
Amen.
When we say Urbit is in beta, we mean a developer beta, not a beta for ordinary users.
Shoot.
Urbit's a lot of fun to hack around on, but it's still a young platform. I'm a designer. I'm here because I care about building tools for human beings. So let's talk quickly about what Urbit will do for ordinary people in both the long and the short term. Your Urbit will store and process your data life stream, all the data that you generate, actively or passively, throughout your life. As an open platform, you get to decide what code touches your data, and when you socialize, your Urbit will communicate directly with your friends' Urbits. It'll also publish on the web, which isn't going away anytime soon. Your Urbit will hold your keys and secrets, so it can act as a trusted agent on your behalf. Your Urbit name even becomes your digital identity and anchors your digital reputation. It'll be a long time before everyone has an Urbit, and we'll never get there unless we can make Urbit useful to early adopters without relying on Urbit's own network effect. One easy use case today is self-hosted publishing. Urbit is a great personal web server. Just drop some markdown files in a folder and you're serving a self-hosted blogger site. Another is as a complement to decentralized and blockchain-centric apps. Consensus computing is great, but you want to use it only when actually necessary. To realize the full power of a blockchain, you need to use it from a computer that you own and control. Finally, the area we're most excited about is API aggregation. In a way, you already have a personal cloud server today. It's just spread out across all the services you already use. It's a lot of work for Urbit to replace these services. It's a lot easier for Urbit to give you control over your data in one place by managing your services with their APIs. Your Urbit can let you program with and control the data in your services as if they were part of your computer. Imagine if you could LS your Gmail from the command line, or build a social feed that actually combines the stream of notifications from all your services. When you use an API from your own personal server, you're using an API key you register for yourself. Most of the big services have terms of service that restrict the user experience of apps that use their APIs. When you have your own computer, no one has the power to tell you what to do with it. Certainly, no one has a practical way to stop you from using or abusing API data in any way that you like. At the end of the day, Urbit is an open platform. We may not yet know what Urbit will be the most useful for. The future of Urbit lives in the imaginations of the developers who build on top. This is the first time we're offering Urbit address space to the public. From 2002 to 2013, Curtis funded himself. From 2014 until now, Urbit has been developed by a seed-funded startup called Tlon. We love our investors. The Tlon investors have helped take Urbit from a research prototype all the way to a credible beta. But Urbit was always designed to be an open source project that uses its own address space to fund itself. Open source doesn't work well for research, but the research here is done. How do we know? Because we believe that if the whole Tlon team disappeared tomorrow, Urbit would still succeed. For end users, Urbit still needs a lot of work. It needs better apps, it needs lots of bug fixes, optimization, and especially documentation. Funding Tlon makes sure these things get done. But our goal with this sale isn't just funding. As the owner of a star, you're not just a donor, you're a member of Urbit's first Congress. The buyers in this initial crowd sale will become Urbit's first independent governance body. Every network is a digital state. Urbit just understands that. We also understand that anarchy is not a viable option. Even Bitcoin and Ethereum have turned out to need governance. And at Tlon, we realized that a network in 2016 can't be governed indefinitely by some unaccountable corporation. Urbit must evolve into a responsible, self-governing digital republic. We've written a draft constitution for this republic and set aside a fifth of the address space to fund it permanently.
No.
But we can't control what Urbit actually becomes. That is up to you.
Oh, man. Good thing I just got that call to go. Alright. Jason is ready for the Zoom. Okay. I have that paused. I'm going to open my Zoom. Actually, I don't need to open a Zoom yet. I'll just go right to the link. I'm opening the Zoom link. Open Zoom meetings. Promise I'm gonna give my PC brain damage. Can't wait for PCs to be ultra optimized to their ultimal optimality. Okay. It will take 10 minutes. It shall take 10 minutes for me to open up my Zoom. No, I'm just kidding. It's opening up right now. Okay. And hopefully my PC will understand that it only needs my data. Holy moly, this is gonna suck. I have to charge my phone. It's on 2% right now. By the end of this stream, you'll get to see my face for 5 minutes. Here we are. Roll die. Want to join, buddy? Oh. I click on your link, and they're already like, wait, kickstart your Zoom experience? Goofy. Sure. Join. And I'm so closing Zoom Workplace. I think they just want people to use Zoom Workplace. Yeah, no, I don't need a Zoom Workplace. I would love to clean up my computer. I wish I knew the defaults on everything and I was some tech genius. Unfortunately, I've just clogged my computer. Full of stuff. I should turn on that song, Hold On, I'm Coming. But then, you know, copyright. Can't have anything in Detroit. Come on. I'm in a Zoom meeting, it says. Oh, I think I got it. Yeah, join with computer audio. Hello, Jason? Can you hear me? Am I heard? Monsignor? Monsieur? Monsieur? I'll open it up on my thingamajig now. Wait, cancel.
Hello, hello. I should be able to hear you now. I can hear you.
You can hear me now.
I can hear you now. Here, let me turn your stream off since we're so far behind. All right.
Yeah, it's like, it's a giant lag.
Mm-hmm.
Let me stream my window. You consent to being streamed too, right?
I do consent to being streamed.
Okay, great. Zoom. Okay, make source visible. No, not that. Zoom meeting. Yes? Am I not allowed to? I'll say I'm allowed to. Is my Zoom up? I'm checking. My Zoom should be getting... It's not. It's so not.
Yeah. It's so funny.
It's so misfortunate. Fix. Gotta fix it again. Unfortunately, my phone died, so now I have to charge that to get the camera back up. I've been going crazy ever since I got banned from Discord.
I've been going crazy a long time.
Crazy? I was crazy once. Oh, hey. There we go. I think I've got it now. Okay. Okay, we got it. Is it not full screened? I'm gonna just stretch it a little bit so that people on their thingamabobbers can have it full screen. Great. Great. That's great. That's very good.
Yes.
Now, if only there were a way to crop it. This is my first ever, well, I mean, not my first ever, but second ever live stream.
Mm-hmm.
Technically third ever, but the second one was a mistake. Where I put on kids mode, so I just ended it after 2 minutes.
Lamau.
Sucked.
That's great.
Yeah, it truly is. Properties. I'll show you some property. Oh, wait, what if I just shrunk it? Yeah, I can just shrink it. And then just, wait,
Good.
shoot. That don't work. Um, okay, okay. I'll just, alright, that's great. I'll put that up in the corner. And then
Nice.
I'll put up I'll put up another thing just to like make this even more interesting. I have to make an interesting stream, you know, Jason. Window capture.
Perfectly understandable.
Are you excited for that feller we could be interviewing, perchance?
Perchance, perchance. We still need to be focusing on Walter Block, though.
I know, but this guy's great.
I agree, I agree.
Alright, we'll put that right there. I'm glad you're not watching my stream.
Oh, I am. I turned it back on. I just, I
Oh,
muted it. Here, let me take a look. Oh, you're, I see.
don't worry, I'll put the Family Guy clips in too.
That's great. That's great.
Yeah, yeah, I need to put in Family Guy clips.
I want to be known as that, like, really serious, like, political scientist, theologian, like, rabbi, bishop, governor, king, aristocrat,
Uh-huh.
who just, like, um, wakes up at 3 in the morning and is very tired and gets on Twitch and is in a cow onesie babbling about nonsense. I want that to be me.
Oh yeah. You definitely want that to
One
be
day.
you.
One day. One day.
I mean, today. Today that will be you.
Yeah, except I'm not a rabbi, bishop, political scientist.
Says who?
Well, I've not been ordained to the priesthood of Melchizedek, and I do not have a episcopal office, so I am not a bishop. And I would not consider myself a formal teacher as to Jewish law or anything. So I'm not a rabbi either. I don't know.
That's gonna be funny when you rewatch the stream.
True,
Yeah.
perhaps.
Yeah, whatever it was. Um, this Urbit thing looks interesting.
What are these sounds? I'm looking at the stream now. What is this? What the fuck was that? That's really funny. Everything I said was just superseded. Whatever, that's fine. I wasn't saying anything of value anyway.
No, I'm sure you were. It's, I'm just setting up the stream.
Yeah, that's fine. Blood doesn't even have his camera on. Who's watching? Me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
Basically.
let's get viewers. Let's get viewers.
I want to get viewers, but you have to stream for a while to get lots of viewers. Let me set this up like how I normally have my tabs. Just put this up here, put 2048 right over there. Look for YouTube videos to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Urbit posted 2 months ago. I wonder what their most popular videos are. Jason, what's an Urbit planet?
Oh, the way I understand it, which is very minimal, uh, basically, an Urbit planet, I would analogize it as being like a Discord server, which is probably already wrong in a number of ways. But like basically an Urbit planet is like a Discord server, and then there's also like Urbit stars, which I think are like a higher level of network. in terms of Urbit, like the Urbit software and network. Um, and it's decentralized. So rather than all of these planets and stars being owned by one central organization, they're all owned independently and they interlink. So like imagine we had Discord, but I owned my Discord server. Like it belonged to me. It's my server space and
Based.
I do with it 100% as I please. And then, but then, like, it's not just like Discord. It's not just a social networking thing. It's like a greater software. So I don't know all the details, but um, I know nothing about tech, but it looks interesting.
We should add ChatGPT onto this Zoom meeting.
Oh yeah, no, we can talk with ChatGPT. Have some interesting discussions.
I got ChatGPT up. We're going to ask them about it. What is an Urbit planet and an Urbit star system? Would it be a star system or just a star?
We got two people watching. I'm pretty sure one of them's me, Lamau. It's possible that Katie's watching. I'm not certain.
Oh, I think it's,
I did send them the link.
I believe Matthew is.
Matthew could also be watching. It's possible he's coming on and off.
Did he just say the channel Jason was just on? No, this is my stream, Matthew. What the H? It's Urbit. Urbit. And that's made by Curtis Yarvin, I'm finding out. Urbit, made by Curtis Yarvin.
Yeah, I informed him and he thought I was joking.
No, yeah, I thought he was joking about it. I thought, like, Curtis Yarvin making an Urbit? Okay, buddy.
Not everybody
no.
who makes a cool base technology thing becomes super rich off of it, you know?
That's true. And Curtis Yarvin, he is a software developer, so I guess
Mm-hmm. He
that
made
makes
Urbit.
sense.
He made a decentralized software. I don't know. You need to talk to like computer science, like computer engineering people, because I don't understand
I
any of
found
this
the
stuff.
planet thing. Definition: an Urbit planet is an individual user identity intended for personal everyday use within the Urbit network. I don't think they really know, but Urbit
Actually,
planets.
yeah, no, I think the stars are like the servers, and the planets are like
Oh,
not
yeah.
if not you, then like your
An Urbit star is a
like your
network
house.
infrastructure node that provides services to planets. Stars are responsible for routing messages, providing updates, and generally helping keep the decentralized network functioning. They're the service providers of the Urbit network.
Right.
Technical
I
role.
was in a Hoppian server Natural Order, if you remember it, and some years ago. This is gonna be pulled up by some random fucking future archaeologist. But
So true.
Natural Order, there was a guy on there who had acquired an Urbit star by one means or another, and he was like advertising it on his profile that he was selling it. Like,
That's that's amazing.
yeah,
I may have just gotten my camera to work. I'll see. Let's focus it this way. I'll have to restart my camera thingamajig. Okay. I'll restart my camera thingamajigger, and then I'll have it working. Is my Irian working? My Irian does not believe me. Okay. Irian webcam. Open. Awesome. It'd be wild if I had a Destiny moment on stream.
it's true.
We
You
don't.
mean being based in Red Pill?
No, I mean opening the folder with the horse.
Yeah, don't do that.
I'll try not to, much as I can.
That would not be good for a business.
Cannot start video. Let's start the video. Irian webcam. Wait, OBS virtual cam. Irian webcam again. Start it. Start it. Start it. Failed to start the video camera. Please select another video camera in settings. How about I please don't, buddy? They're giving me like 10 warnings to knock it off. Very good mug. Very good drink.
Yeah, just wanted to advertise. I don't need money from Dr. Pepper. They gave me a lifelong beverage.
Indeed they did. Oh man. I will try. You know, we can get other people on this call too.
Theoretically, we could.
Matter of fact, I would
I
like to
think
be,
Matthew joined back. What up, Matthew? Unless we have another viewer.
I'd like to be like one of those Twitch, not Twitch, but TikTok streamers where they just like put something really stupid up where it's like, actually, the black people were the Norwegians. And then it's like, come up on and debate me. And then
It's true.
they get like one guy up to debate, and then the guy's like, well, why do you think that black people weren't slaves? What? Whoa! Whoa! I didn't say that. I just don't think they're Norwegians. So you think black people don't exist? No, they do, but
Black people don't exist, man.
we gotta get that one dude. That other dude that was just like mind-boggling me the other day with like his weird racism. That black guy. We need to get an interview with that guy. I'm just waiting
True.
for it. That's my OBS, by the way. It's doing good. It's sustaining. I still need to figure out how to like actually get my camera back on. I don't want to rejoin. That would suck. What if I start my video? It won't let me start my video. Failed to start the video camera.
Bro's
Please
just
select another
collecting.
video camera
Bro's just
instead.
collecting evidence on me.
I'm just collecting evidence. I mean,
It's true. Whatever you do, don't stream that one recording.
yeah, I had that one up for Walter.
True.
Could you imagine?
Yeah. Some person in the future is gonna find this and be like, "What are you talking about?" Yeah. Start your Masonic conspiracies here, gentlemen.
What recording? Let's just say the recording.
Let's just say it may or may not have something to do with my fellow craft degree work in a goat.
Yeah.
Let's just say.
No, it's much worse.
So
That's
true.
funny, Jason. That's very light. It's far worse
Yeah,
than that.
yeah, it's so true. At least worse by the liberal media's standards.
Holy cannoli. It is worse by the liberal media standards. It is literally so impossible to get this camera working. HD? HD? What if
Watching myself on stream at present.
I mean, open up my Irian webcam again.
I believe I'm now beginning to watch myself watch myself. I might be right. No, maybe. Wait, oh,
You have to wait for yourself.
well, I certainly will be soon.
Dang.
Oh, yeah, there it is.
There, I'm watching myself on that one.
There it is.
Oh, I'm on TV. You know, there's an actual reality that somebody could watch this on their TV,
True.
which is weird. There's an actual reality that a group
Oh my
of,
god!
there's an actual reality that a group of like 10 people could watch this on their TV at like
True.
Donald Trump's house.
That is, I mean, it's possible. Donald Trump, if you're watching,
Donald
give me a
Trump, if you're
job.
watching,
Give me a job.
help us.
I'm
Donald Trump.
majoring. I'm majoring in economics and political science. I'm an avid freedom lover. I am critical of you in some ways, Donald Trump, but I would love to work with you.
I'll be your slave, Donald Trump.
Oh shoot! Hey, quit talking to Donald Trump, Jason. I can hear you right there. Oh no, keep talking to him. He's a good guy. Good guy.
Oh shoot. Do they have me on my Irian? Do they have me? I think everything's getting used all at once. Oh, okay, so. Yeah, that makes sense. So I'll just have to, like, cut off my Irian
Hey, don't
webcam.
tell Jason not to talk to Donald Trump, Jason.
I don't know.
Yeah, keep talking. Listen to Jason.
I'll cut my Irian webcam off here. I'll go to my thingamabobber here. I'll put my Irian webcam on here. Oh, I think I got it, Jason. And now I will start.
Yeah, keep talking to Trump. Listen to him.
Keep talking to Trump. What?
Talking to myself. There's a 30-second delay, roughly.
Skitzing out professionally. Okay.
You could piece it together if you put together the recording. Oh, look, there's me reacting right there. I can see it right there. Yeah.
Yeah, you talking to yourself is going to be on recording too.
That's fine. That's fine.
That is fine.
That's fine. That's just fine.
There's going to be a weird.
You know, what was it? Was it Douglas MacArthur who thought that he reincarnated from like 1,500 million different awesome badass warriors, or was it the other guy?
MacArthur? Man, that would be very cool. If
Well,
MacArthur
it was
did.
either MacArthur or was it the other? Do you not know about this?
I have no clue about it.
Look it up. Look up Douglas MacArthur reincarnation.
Okay. Douglas MacArthur
It might have been the other guy. What was the other World War II general's name? I'm drawing blanks.
Dwight Eisenhower?
It was either Eisenhower or MacArthur. Pretty positive it was MacArthur now that I
Is
remembered
it General
Eisenhower.
Patton?
Patton.
George
Actually, I
Patton.
think it was Patton. George S. Patton. He believed himself to have been personally present at a number of battles the Roman Empire was involved in, as well as a number of other things. Like he was recorded as having been testifying to being at particular battles when talking with his lieutenants and shit. So
Claimed he'd seen combat many times in previous life.
there's a
including-
documentary clip about it. You got to look it up.
including as a Roman legionnaire and as part of the 14th century army of John the Blind of Bohemia. Now that one's so specific, you'd almost want to believe him.
Yeah.
John
You should
the Blind
you
of
should look up
Bohemia.
you should go to YouTube and look up George S. Patton reincarnation. Stream it to the Zoom and make it so it's on the YouTube stream.
I'll try to.
It's it's just interesting to know that people don't realize how many schizos there are in higher up ranks in society and throughout history.
That's true.
And it's because schizos really aren't that schizo when you get down to it. They're just a different wiring, I believe. There's something that clicks to them which doesn't for us, yet they're just as functional. And, I don't know.
Who is Moo Moo? It's your fursona.
Who the heck is Moo Moo? Yeah, hey, what up, Moo Moo? What up, alien?
Patton, 1970. There's a reincarnation scene to a movie he was in? Okay.
Yeah, no, it's genuinely a good scene.
Alright.
I want to rewatch it, frankly. It's just interesting. It's a good piece of media. It gives light to some things about George S. Patton.
I'm going to try to make the scene as adept as
Bleep
possible.
glorp.
Bleep glorp. Oh no. Oh wait.
Patrick, by the way, I think we would really benefit if we think we'd really benefit if we streamed on YouTube Shorts.
How streamed on YouTube Shorts? I don't even know how.
Well, I mean, there's a way you can do it. There's people who stream particularly like in a YouTube short formatting. Um, I don't know. Just a suggestion.
Turn right here.
Streaming the
Sir, the
reincarnation
battlefield
scene.
is straight ahead.
Yeah.
Don't argue with me.
Are you
son.
streaming
I
it
can
to
smell
Zoom
He was
or
out here
just to
yesterday.
YouTube?
I was just streaming it to YouTube. I can try and get to the Zoom, but
I mean, I'll be watching it with quite the delay.
sharing is not turned on. Send request. Please.
Yeah. Go ahead. Allow. There you go.
Thank you, sir. I'll share this screen for the 4 bajillionth time. Oh my gosh, I have so many tabs open.
One watching now. I think Moo42 may have left. I could be wrong.
Likely. I mean, they probably were like, nah.
Who the heck are these individuals?
These individual persons.
Yeah, these individuals. Who are these individuals?
I think I lost my Zoom.
No!
Oh wait,
That's
do I
happening.
have it? Okay. I'm sharing it. How's my OBS doing? Does it even okay. Well,
I'm not seeing nothing of worth.
I don't know what you mean by that.
What
Oh
the heck
my-
is happening?
I don't know, I've lost everything. My house.
There you go.
Okay. Great.
Hey, George. It's over there. Turn right, damn it.
Damn, no volume.
Are you drawing on the screen?
Hold on. I'm thinking. Shoot. Well, I can't, First off, I can't hear anything, and I don't know why. Second off, I don't know. I feel a fool.
Hold up, I need to quit annotating. Cowdiism?
It was
How
here.
do I remove my annotate? There we go.
The battlefield was here.
How do I remove my annotation?
The Carthaginians defending the city were attacked by 3 Roman legions. Carthaginians were proud and brave, but they couldn't hold. They were massacred. Arab women stripped them of their tunics and their swords and lances. The soldiers lay naked in the sun.
Getting
2,000
the
years ago.
election charts for 2028.
Well, I'm actually
I was
adding
here.
something very particular.
You don't believe me, do you, Brad? You know what the poet said? Through the travail of ages, midst the pomp and toils of war, have I fought and strove and perished countless times upon the star. As if through a glass and darkly, the age-old strife I see, where I fought in many guises, many names. but
This is
always
for
me.
those who know.
You know who the poet was? Me.
The poet was me. I was him.
This is for those who know. Yeah, no, it's a bass scene. Unfortunately, I couldn't hear it, but it's. I remembered what he said. So,
I'm literally him.
the poet was me.
Somebody came in, Moo Moo, and they want to talk about cow dieism, and I think it's probably Katie. Feels like it.
Oh, Mumu is still speaking. I didn't realize they were continuing to talk.
They're in here.
Taoism is the third largest religion in Vietnam.
How di- That sounds rather familiar, actually.
I know, I was like, is that a pole comp ball?
Let me go ahead and look that up. A monotheistic religion originated in Vietnam in the 1920s and combines many religions, including Buddhism, Confucianism, Taoism, Roman Catholicism, and Vietnamese folk religion. According to the AI overview with Google, the beliefs Taoists worship Cao Dai, the Jade Emperor, as the head of a pantheon of spiritual advisors that includes Jesus, Victor Hugo, Vladimir Lenin, and Chiang. Okay, hold on. Now, my first issue is that Vladimir Lenin is in this pantheon.
Oh, I need to hear about it now. I got a video up now.
Yeah, that's in addition. Now I'm not trying to denounce the complexity and nuances of theologies and belief systems, but I don't understand exactly what it means when it says it's monotheistic, when it also says that it has a pantheon, which Vladimir Lenin is a part of.
I mean, I guess
Maybe it's monolatrous, maybe there's a hierarchy.
maybe it's a pantheon
I
of
don't know.
saints.
Perhaps. I don't know. I don't want to assume too much because it looks like it's clearly something which is foreign to my mindset.
I'm gonna play.
But
the
I'm-
video.
I-
Maybe we should
I
just
ain't-
get a watch together party or something. I don't
To
know.
repurpose some of the words of my late great grandfather, I ain't bowing down to no Lenin. So
Of course not. I'm gonna play this video since somebody is a cow diet wanted to talk about it.
And by certain measures, the 10th largest
yeah, I'd be
religion
willing
in
to
the
talk
world,
about
with somewhere
Kadaism,
around 6
Kaudaism.
million followers. It
6
includes all
million
the various
followers.
subgroups and denominations.
I wonder,
It's
do
not
they
just that
evangelize, or are they a,
began less than 100
or
years
maybe
ago
they're a
in
closed
1963.
religion? Maybe
Yeah,
they're sort of
Do
a,
they
they're not really seeking
evangelize,
converts.
or are
Outside
they
of its home
Jewish?
in southern Vietnam and
Effectively,
the
yeah.
diaspora.
I mean, a lot of religions
Vietnam
just
for
don't
the
seek
past
out
100 years
converts.
has gone through a
Hindus
series
don't
of
actively
profound
seek
changes.
conversion.
From being
Oh,
a French
fuck.
colony,
Neither
Hindus
do
don't
the-
actively, yeah.
back to French
Neither
rule,
You know,
do the
like-
followed
Amish.
by a division into a communist north, and
Which is
Republican
odd
south.
because that
And finally,
runs
reunification.
contrary to scripture, but
Well, I mean, contrary to the scripture, they don't believe in that.
that's true.
I'm gonna play it from here, and I don't know. Maybe if you can watch the stream, I don't know. I'll send the link in the chat, and then you'll grab it from the stream chat in 2 minutes.
You're trying to make me watch. You're overcomplicating everything.
I sent the link in the chat.
Yes.
That's all I did.
Vietnam, over the past 100 years, has gone through a series of profound changes. From being a French colony, a Japanese
Oh, that's where that symbol
back to
comes
French rule,
from.
followed by a division into a communist north and Republican south. And finally, reunification under the communist forces.
I'm
in
not trying to line up
1975,
videos or
with
anything.
each of
I'd
these
rather
shifts
sit
being
here
marked by a
and
series of conflicts,
just look
but also
nice.
the emergence of new political and religious movements in response to the issues of war,
I'm
French
watching it.
colonialism, and
Hmm.
Vietnamese
You can
nationalism.
just go ahead.
Even though
report to me
Vietnam
what
is
they
often
believe.
seen as a relatively small country in Southeast Asia, it is home to over 100 million people who come from a multitude of different backgrounds.
I'll
and
watch
It's
the
one of
stream,
those
I guess.
diversity religions
Many
where
of
they
which
got a bunch of different
originate from
people.
outside Vietnam. This ranges from Islam and Christianity to Buddhism, Hinduism, Taoism, and Confucianism, all of which are
Shoot.
often layered upon local folk traditions, with one of the most important local practices being spirit mediumship, where mediums hold ceremonies to allow local spirits to act through them and deliver messages to the human world. And due to the
Spirit
nearly 1,000
mediumship.
years of Chinese rule in the north, many Vietnamese have also adopted the practice of spirit writing. This is where mediums,
Spirit
instead of
writing?
acting as the
Why don't they
spirits, will
include
instead
Native
allow the
American
spirit
folk
to deliver a
religion
message
if they're
written
trying
in
to-
either sand or ash, using the
I
classical
don't think this is
Chinese
the Baha'i
Vietnamese
type.
alphabet.
I think they just
With the
happen
spread
to
of
be
French
colonized by a
colonialism
bajillion
in the
different
mid-1800s,
religions.
Vietnam was also
I
introduced to a
suppose.
European philosophic and religious movement known as Spiritism, based on the writings of a
Spiritism?
Frenchman named Allan Kardec. It is the belief that human spirits
Oh,
survive death,
divination.
and
That's
living can access the
anti-biblical.
collective knowledge of major historical and religious figures in the past through activities such as table tipping, where, like spirit writing, spirits can send messages by guiding people's hands across the table. And
Oh.
it is from this diverse religious background that Kadaism first emerged in early 1920s Vietnam.
Holy moly.
In 1921, a spirit appeared to No Van Chu, a Vietnamese official in the colonial bureaucracy. showing him the image of a left eye in the sky, along with the sun and moon. Over the next few years, as other young bureaucrats became interested in those visions, they began holding seances in the hopes of gaining further revelations. Due to the influences of Kardec, they began in the Western fashion by table tipping. However, in hopes of speeding up the process, the spirit instructed them to use a Vietnamese phoenix basket instead. This brought the rituals closer to the Eastern practice of spirit writing. But, unlike the older mediums, these young bureaucrats used the new Latin Vietnamese script instead of the older Chinese Vietnamese characters.
Go Van Chu.
As they gained more followers, the
False
spirit
prophet.
appeared to them on Christmas
Poor
of
guy.
1925
Pray
and
for his
revealed itself
followers,
to
I
be Cao
guess.
Dai, or the Supreme Being, equating themselves with both Jehovah of the Old Testament and the Jade Emperor, one of the primordial gods
What?
in
Okay, so
What have you seen that I haven't come to yet?
I think their one god they have is both Jehovah and the Jade Emperor, but they think that Jehovah God is the Jade Emperor or something. Okay. I've heard crazier, I guess.
traditional Chinese religion. The spirit then sent a series of messages, saying that since the
So
Vietnamese
would they
people had
believe
suffered
that the
so much
Jade
from
Emperor
colonial-
was a incarnation of God, or
I mean, I can go back and look at it for a second. 1 second.
The spirit appeared to them on Christmas of 1925.
The spirit
and
appeared to
revealed
them on
itself to be
Christmas
Cao
of
Dai, or
1925.
the Supreme Being,
revealed
equating
itself
themselves
to
with
Cao
both
Dai.
Jehovah of the Old Testament and the Jade Emperor, one of the primordial gods
He
in
just
traditional
said
Chinese
that
religion.
he was both Jehovah and the Jade Emperor, but that's also one of the primordial gods.
I guess I mean I don't really understand the significance of the Jade Emperor to begin with. I'm not culturally enlightened in that regard.
That might be Shangdi. Might be like the Heavenly Emperor that I think might be. So that would be less crazy than I think. Although I don't know what the Jade Emperor is.
I
I'm
like
actually gonna
genuinely
look this
I'm
up.
just I'm too ignorant in Eastern religious importance. I mean
Is the Jade Emperor the same as Shangdi or the Heavenly Emperor? The Jade Emperor is the supreme
Jade
Heavenly
Emperor.
Emperor in Chinese religion.
Supreme Heavenly Emperor, right? Okay, what does that
Are
entail
related but
exactly?
distinct figures, each occupying a unique role across various Chinese cosmologies. I
Supreme
think it's
Heavenly
the same.
Emperor, but like, are they like?
I'm gonna read it for each. The Jade Emperor and the Heavenly Emperor. ChatGPT's given me answers. The Jade
I guess what I'm
Emperor-
wondering is are they like a god whose position is established from the onset, or are they like a deified being which has that position for a period of time? Because I know, like within the context of Buddhism, you have like the earth itself is a god, but it's also a creature which is subject to the cycle of reincarnation like the
I
rest of us.
believe-
It's not like
I'm gonna read over what this says about the Jade Emperor, but I do believe this is like
he would
how
be
we
like the
think of
god of
God.
gods, king of kings. Right? I understand that he's like the hierarch, but what's his
I'll-
nature?
I'll read this. Role and origin. The Jade Emperor is a prominent deity in cosmology, in Taoist cosmology, regarded as the ruler of heaven and all realms of existence, including earth and hell. He's seen as a divine administrator who oversees the workings of the universe and manages the gods of the Taoist pantheon. Historical development. The Jade Emperor's role evolved.
Forever deity.
Yeah, so I guess it would be like Jehovah.
Okay.
So yeah,
So
I could see the connection.
what would
there.
it be right for me to extrapolate that the Jade Emperor is like a, if not, if human extrapolation, then like just a personification of the divine, like kingly nature?
It would be
is
like
that-
how we say God is.
Would
the
I be
King
getting
of
that
Kings.
right?
I mean, we call God the Heavenly Emperor, but yeah. Lay Buddhists don't know about impermanence in that esoteric aspect. Well, I'm pretty sure I think that there's an overlap here. I think it's the same type of idea. Shangdi is a more primordial force, creator force, and moral authority in the colonists. The Jade Emperor, however, acts more as a divine ruler and administrator rather than a creator figure. Why do they say that? Why do they say that?
Well, I mean,
Doesn't he? Isn't he the creator? Question, Mumu. Isn't he the creator? Oh hey,
I don't
Logan's
think
here.
they would necessarily need to be the creator, even if they're the hierarch, because being the heavenly hierarch within this context, did you say that they're above the Taoist pantheon? Is that what you read off?
Is a prominent deity in the Taoist cosmology, and he's the head guy in the Taoist pantheon. I believe it says he's seen as a
Taoist pan I
divine
well, I mean,
administrator. He's
the
the
word
first god.
Taoist pantheon alone confuses me because I understand that the Taoists like clung on to the already existing Chinese mythology that was in their region, but I never thought that they had like a particular codification of their own pantheon.
I mean, maybe there's not a codification, but an ancient stuff. Welcome.
Their use of the word Taoist then would just slightly confuse me. I could be getting caught up in unnecessary details.
I want to say welcome, Logan. Basically, to put you up to speed, we're studying Cao Daism. Basically, they believe that Yahweh and the Jade Emperor are the same being. So,
Jade Emperor. That's good to know because I've heard the phrase Jade Emperor before, but I never actually knew exactly what that was. So I need to remember that.
actually, you know what? A good question would be in Revelation or in one of the holy books talking about what happens in Revelations or the last days. There's the story about what God will build uh, the new heavenly kingdom from, and
Hmm.
Jade might be on that list. I think Emerald was on the list, but they were all stuff that, like, if you shined a laser at it, it would turn beautiful colors under a microscope, whereas
Right.
other stuff would not. What is the Jade Emperor? He's the head god in the Taoist pantheon, and
I
maybe
still don't like that phrase. That doesn't sound right to me. I feel like it's just like the divine kingship figure within the Chinese pantheon at large. I don't know.
That's how the series is
Can
meant.
you look that up? I just the phrase Taoist pantheon is still just throwing me off mentally. That doesn't sound right.
Taoist.
I could be a fool.
Well, I mean, I searched up Taoist pantheon, and there's a lot of stuff on it. Taoist pantheon, the Art Institute of Chicago, highest gods of Taoism that holds titles like Celestial Worthy or Emperor.
No, Logan, we do not believe that the Jade Emperor is, in fact, Lord of Lord, King of Kings.
I mean, I don't know. I'm not a Taoist, but there's
I mean,
there's religious stuff where a guy or somebody can have there can be some overlap. I
I mean,
mean,
like I'm a Freemason. I would say the Grand Architect of the universe is the Lord of Lord, King of Kings. I would say they're the same. I don't know if the Jade Emperor can be made out to be like a title or if it's particularly like it has to be set within the context of Chinese mythology.
the
I
way
don't
I
know.
describe it is it could even be set within the context of Chinese mythology. I mean, I believe they put Yahweh in Canaanite mythology too, where they talk about him and he's the head deity,
Yeah,
but
but I wouldn't.
it's
But that
still
doesn't necessarily.
real.
But there was a god of the same name, a storm god within the Canaanite pantheon. But I mean, what does that really mean?
I mean, it doesn't mean that God is only relegated to storms, but it does mean, they can still be the same character. It's the same character, but they just relegated him there. He's still the head deity.
Well, I don't think actually in the Canaanite religion. I won't say the ineffable name, but the JWs have him as their first word. Uh, he is a lesser god in the Canaanite pantheon, and El is the upper god. Like
Really?
there are some esoteric Mormons, like on Instagram, who will talk about how El is the father of the ineffable name Hashem, in the Canaanite pantheon, and how that's indicative of a historical understanding the Israelites had that, there were two separate beings in a hierarchical relationship with each other, which I think is balls. I don't think that's
Is
true.
would L be the highest guy or no? Is
Yeah, that would be El Elyon, the Most High.
yeah.
They Mormon these Mormons basically posit that when the Bible refers to El Elyon and to the ineffable name, they're actually referring to two distinct people, two distinct beings. Um,
That's so weird.
and the Canaanite pantheon, I mean, because there are biblical scholars in the West. I think there's some sort of consensus among secular academia that there was a view that was that way. I don't know all the details, but I think it's a non-issue for a Christian apologist for a number of reasons. Because like they'll try to use that to be like, oh, the Israelite religion evolved from some polytheistic thing into this monotheistic thing, but I don't think that that proves anything. I don't really want to go into all the details at present, but
Well, I mean, I don't take that view of it. I mean, of course, I don't think that it's actually evolved from a polytheistic religion. Idiocy.
well, I
But
mean, because within the context of the Christian or Judaic or whatever view, uh, God was once known to all of mankind, even when that was only one person, Adam. There was a time when God was known to everybody, and it's documented in the Bible that there were generations that, over time, continually forgot about God more and more. There's some Jewish literary tradition. I think Maimonides is particularly cited as saying that over the course of some particular generations, humankind went from worshiping God alone to worshiping God and venerating angels to worshiping God and angels, worshiping the angels as like lesser gods, and it like progressively grew until eventually you had pantheons which God was a part of, and eventually God was just forgotten, and you just had these angels who were morphed into deities by human foolishness. Um,
Catholic moment.
and true, but taking that view, that historical narrative into context, it really does not mean anything for any pantheon to contain that god in it. And it's the Canaanite one and not any other ones. I don't know. I'm not an anthropologist. I'm not a historian. I'm just saying it doesn't run contrary to anything that's propped up by our view. So I don't like when people try to use it and be like, well, the Israelite religion was originally pagan. Within the
Yeah,
context of the Israelite religion, we have enough to wipe that away without being illogical. This fits within what we have, and we can believe this with logical validity.
right, right. Yeah, I wouldn't be saying that he's part of a pagan. He's a pagan under God. No, they just. Here's the way I would be putting it. Even if I put Abraham Lincoln as a religious figure, as a saint or something, in
Hmm.
200 years, say they forget about Abraham Lincoln being an actual guy, he'd still be real. Abraham Lincoln would
Right.
still be the guy. So the Jade Emperor, he could be turned into the Jade Emperor or whatever, but he'd still be
Hmm.
God. He'd still be the actual one God, even if they
Right.
distorted his role and, mythology that wasn't real, such and such. I'm gonna play this video. I'm only 3 minutes in. I'll continue it.
saying that since the Vietnamese people had suffered so much under colonialism, they would be rewarded as God's chosen people.
Oh, this is interesting. So since the Vietnamese people suffered so much under colonialism, they would be rewarded as God's chosen people.
Unifying all
It's
world
true.
religions in order to lead.
Oh, and they'd be unifying all world religions. So, this might be, what this makes me think of? I was thinking about, what if there was a Baha'i religion, like how the Baha'is put everything together, but instead of
Hmm.
being like weak little sissies who will just basically let anything go, they actually have religious doctrine and like hard tradition. That would be interesting. Maybe this is it.
Hmm.
Humanity toward the new spiritual salvation.
New
After this
spiritual
revelation
salvation,
came,
they say.
the next year in 1926, the Caudillas submitted a formal declaration of religious independence to the
They
French colonial
submitted a
government,
declaration of
unifying
religious
several religious
independence to the
groups
French
under the banner of
colonial government.
Caudillism. They then began to establish their Holy See in Tay Ninh in southern Vietnam. However, at the same time, the original visionary, No Van Chu, left the group without signing the declaration, refusing the offer to become the first Caudillis leader, in favor of establishing a more esoteric sect called the Chu Min. Here,
That's funny, Jason. Their founder, the primary dude who established Cowdeism, he was like, "No, I'm not gonna join your big church and your thing where you're splitting off. I'm not gonna join the Cowdeist church. I want to found an esoteric sect. I want to found the Chu Men instead of whatever your church is."
That's basically what the Baha'i did, because, Baha'i was originally Babism, but then Babism got usurped by Baha'ism. And there's, some small number of Babists left who didn't accept Baha'u'llah.
It's so funny. This guy, he basically was like, "Let's form this religion." His followers like, "We're gonna form the religion, make it big. We're gonna proselytize the thing." He's like, "No, it needs to be esoteric and based. Can't be like that."
It's true.
Interesting.
Chu and his followers would continue to hold private seances and
Oh, they
practice a stricter
continued to
theme
hold
of
private
vegetarianism.
seances and
In Tay Ninh,
practiced
over the course of the next
vegetarianism.
decade, the Caudillas began to codify their religious
Fair.
text through a series of spirit messages received between 1925
Oh, they have a
and
Caudillas
1935.
canon?
This instructed them on how to build their temples, how to pray, and how to make offerings to the supreme
Oh
deity.
my
They also began
god.
to formalize
I am
the structure of
without
their faith,
drink.
taking influence from
Same.
the organization of the
But
Catholic
like
Church,
Pepsi.
local Vietnamese
I'm gonna go
religious
retrieve a
societies,
drink.
Oh, they got influence from the Catholic Church,
and the government bureaucracy.
Vietnamese
where several
religious
Caudillas
societies,
were.
and the
They used
bureaucracy.
the title of Pope, Cardinal, and Archbishop, but unlike in Catholicism, they would include women in these higher roles, except
Oh, they included women in their higher roles?
for that of Pope. They
Disgusting.
also formed three
Except for
male
Pope.
orders, based on the three most important Asian traditions found in
There's
Vietnam:
3 male orders.
Confucianism, Taoism, and Buddhism. For
They had 3 male orders, and they were based on Confucianism, Taoism, and Buddhism.
the Caudai pantheon, Buddha, Confucius, and Lao Tzu
Lao Tzu, Confucius, and Buddha were all in the Caodai
are
pantheon.
considered the three most important messengers from the Supreme
3
Being.
important
And
messengers
one aspect
from
of
the Supreme
Caodaism
Being.
that's often highlighted is its unifying nature, specifically the merging of Eastern and Western
Woman.
traditions. This is most clearly seen by the incorporation of Jesus into the Caudai pantheon. However, while he is included here, he is placed in a subordinate role beneath that of the three great Asian masters.
Oh, that's cringe. They included Jesus, but they put him in a subordinate role to the 3
And
Asian
he's not
masters.
considered divine, but more
He's
of a
not considered divine.
noble teacher who preached loving kindness, compassion, and forgiveness.
Losers.
This is seen as a way for the Vietnamese founders to reconcile the colonial imposition of Catholicism with their native faiths, without giving it a place of priority over them. Now, in addition to ceremonies involving the offering of lighted incense, fruit, flowers, as well as tea and wine, one of the most important aspects of Caudillism continues to be the practice of spirit mediumship. In
Seems
order
gay
to
and
receive
cringe,
new
yeah.
revelations from the Supreme Being, but also to engage with the thousands of historical religious figures from the past who are often incorporated into the religion as saints. This includes such diverse figures as Joan of Arc and Vladimir Lenin. While
Joan
this
of
might seem a
Arc
bit
and Vladimir Lenin. Why? Why did they include Joan of Arc and Vladimir Lenin?
random, just as the incorporation of Jesus, a religious figure living under Roman rule, was highly symbolic for the colonized Vietnamese people, so was the incorporation of Joan of Arc, who fought to free her country from a foreign power, and Vladimir Lenin, who helped to lead a revolution in 1917 in the hopes of overthrowing an old order. However, one of the
Where's
most
George
influential
Washington?
saints is the French writer Victor Hugo. Hugo had been a vocal critic of both the Catholic Church and the Second French Empire, led by Napoleon III, who had begun the colonization of Southeast Asia. He was also fascinated by Spiritism, but did not publish anything while he was alive. So, when a posthumous book, recording a series of spirit messages he received in the 1850s, was released in 1923, it proved very influential to the Caudillas, who took the book as being prophetic, as it foretold the coming of a new religion. It was also very popular with the younger generation of Western-educated Vietnamese, who were interested in French Spiritism, and were increasingly involved in nationalist movements. Many had been educated in the best colonial schools, in the French language, as well as the revolutionary ideals of liberty, equality, and fraternity, but resented that as a colonized people, they were
You
prevented
see,
from practicing
he's a
these
goo
ideals
man.
by government that often treated them and their traditions.
Ugh.
Oh, Jason, you're back. You're back, Jason?
tradition was being second class, exhibited by the historic pressure to assimilate into French culture and
Hello,
convert to
gentlemen.
Catholicism.
Oh, welcome back. Basically, the Calvinist included Jesus, but as the stupid, cringe, atheist version of like noble teacher Jesus, and
Unfortunate.
he was subordinate to the three Chinese teachers, like in under position. Very cringe. But
Not good.
for some reason, they also included Joan of Arc and Vladimir Lenin. Uh, Joan of Arc because she was fighting off invaders. Vladimir Lenin because he organized a revolution. Jesus because he was also under the Roman Empire and taught forgiveness or something. Taught forgiveness. Guess they didn't read Revelations. What idiots.
True.
Therefore, as Catholicism grew, their incorporation of victory
Trying to
beyond
listen to the
faith,
Bible. I purchased the David Suchet NIV audio Bible on Audible.
made this faith very
I'm just
attractive to
listening
younger
to it
generation of Vietnamese.
casually.
We're looking for an inclusive national identity.
I think that's
that
one of
looks
the
to
best
reconcile all the
voice. David Suchet. I believe that's one of the best voices I've ever heard read the Bible, but
Genuinely.
it's
But it's NIV. Yeah, I know.
yeah,
I
it's
know.
NIV sucks. It's cringe. I'm about to literally get that 11 Labs AI and just put it on the KJV instead.
different aspects of their culture. And
I hate the KJV audio books of the Bible because they're always like very cringe and like wannabe medievals, but they just like do their own thing with it, where it's like, and then thou Adam, you shalleth be made, and then it's like, buddy, just read it like David Suchet.
his-
Literally, like, you
Also,
know,
I
just
identify
talk like an
myself as a-
1800s English person like the rest of us. Like, you don't have to pretend to be King James. Like, it, I don't know.
So funny. And then I don't like how the dramatized version, they actually have, you know, some umph in their voice, but I don't like where they put the emphasis all the time, because sometimes they'll make like a dude just like saying something normal, like, you know, just like
I do know there's a Bible AI app, Logan. I
they'll
have it,
take, like,
actually. It's really good. I recommend it.
they'll take Cain and they'll be like, then Cain said, "What am I? My brother's keeper?" And they like make it so over the top. It's like, he was just saying.
Ayn Rand's hero.
Oh yeah, that reminds me. If it is possible, I was probably gonna do this on Discord, probably not a live stream, but I wanted to watch like Atlas Shrugged or something. I've never actually watched the whole movie
It's a
series.
pretty good. It's a pretty okay movie from what I remember. It's been a while
I
since
haven't
I've seen
actually
it.
watched the series. I just like heard and tried
Bible
to get
Chat,
through
by the way.
Bible Chat.
Bible Chat's a great app. Here, tell me a question to ask of Bible Chat.
A question.
Mad
to
Rid-
ask Bible
So
Chat.
it's a good app. It's free. You get like a limited amount of questions per day, and you
I-
chat with a Bible bot.
I'm curious. What could I ask? I'll ask an easy one to see what their denomination is.
Well, you choose your denomination like when you make your account,
Really?
so that they can be like understanding and catering towards you.
I'd like to make my Bible Chat New Independent Fundamental Baptist.
Well, I mean, I don't think it's you're making the bot whatever denomination you want. It's that, like, you know, they're factoring in what your beliefs are and what your sect adheres to.
Gosh darn. So,
I think you could say it's technically non-denominational, but not like, you know, in a non-denominational way. In like a non-sectarian way.
so what if you just pick Catholic and then you're like, so how many times should we pray to the saint? Liar! Wrong! Wrong again! You do not do that. It's like, gosh dang, Bible
Yeah.
Chat.
You got anything you want me to ask Bible Chat? It's a pretty good AI. I recommend it.
I don't know, ask it the punishment for adultery.
What is the punishment for adultery?
We'll see if they're like,
In the Bible, the punishment for adultery is addressed. This is like 3 paragraphs, by the way.
holy
In
moly.
the Bible, the punishment for adultery is addressed in different contexts and changes between the Old and New Testaments.
Oh,
In the
really?
Old Testament, under the Mosaic Law, the punishment for adultery was quite severe. In Leviticus 20:10, it states, "And the man that committeth adultery with another man's wife, even he that committeth adultery with his neighbor's wife, the adulterer and the adulteress shall surely be put to death." However, in the New Testament, Jesus introduced a message of forgiveness and redemption. I don't really like the way they phrase that, but in John 8:3-11, a story is told where Jesus encounters a woman who was
Of
caught in the act of
course.
adultery. The scribes and Pharisees brought her to him, reminding him of the law, which demanded her stoning. But Jesus answered them, "He that is without sin among you, let him cast the first stone at her." One by one, her accusers left, and Jesus told the woman, "Neither do I condemn thee. Go and sin no more." This passage reflects a shift towards emphasizing mercy, forgiveness, and repentance over strict punishment. It teaches us about compassion and the transformative power of grace. You see, this is a Bible chat, standard Western Protestant, not really too well read in the Church Fathers, or well, I'm being prideful there, but
I mean, yeah.
I don't really like their way that they're presenting it, but it's solid. Like it gives you all the verses and it gives you explanations.
I'm sure if I weren't asking something controversial, I'd do better. Because, yeah, of course they're going to say that. A lot of them are like, well, man, like, all that forgiveness, it's just piling on up.
I just don't like the way it presented it because it doesn't say it explicitly, but like those sorts of presentations with regard to scripture always sort of have that Old Testament God is mad and evil and angry mindset, whereas New Testament God is cool. Nobody should ever picture the God of Israel as a schizophrenic who has like two personalities. Like that's not how
It's
he
one
works.
God.
He's merciful throughout, lawful throughout, just throughout.
Right.
Um,
Yeah. I
I
mean, I hate that. It really bugs me the wrong way because they'll all be like, ooh, Old Testament God, he's mean, angry, and scary, but New Testament God, really cool. But we have to respect Old Testament God so that New Testament God will still like
Yeah.
us.
Meanwhile, Jesus was just as scrutinizing of people, and Old Testament God was just as merciful. It's just different. It
I
it's
mean, what
expressed
would
in
be
different
the...
ways, and Jesus's ministry served a purpose which made his presence a little bit different than a number of God's other like manifestations in the world. But that it's the same dude. It's the same guy with the same message. He hasn't changed anything.
Right, I
He's
mean,
introducing the next part of Jesus's ministry was important so as to bring about the redemption, but so was everything else God ever did. Like,
right, I mean, one thing would be, if you look at the New Testament and you think New Testament God good, read Revelations. Read what he's going to do there. 1,000 years of an iron rod, buddy. It's like,
yeah,
oh, that's scary. I saw, there was this weird thing. I was on Amino, like, not Amino, but Discord. I've basically erased it from my head now, but Discord, like a week ago or something, there were some guys who were doing a ranking on which Bible characters would do the best in a fight. For some reason, they had God the Father at like the top and Jesus at the bottom because they think Jesus would just refuse to fight or something. And I'm like, Jesus rules with an iron rod for like 1,000 years. You think he won't like come around and just
he
bend you up?
he's also like the source of which the entire universe emanates. He sort of like is kingly in that way.
Right, and there's also in the Old Testament, they act like he's rude and evil and stuff, but literally, Genesis, like the first just few chapters of Genesis, it's immediately like, you will die if you eat that apple. Or, not the apple, but, forbidden fruit. You'll die. And then God's like, you will die just in a little bit. And also, here's a cloak so that you don't get too chilly while you're not here. I have to kick you out. But here's a cloak. It's like, that's so merciful. That's like super merciful. Like, you couldn't resist just eating your fruit, and yet he's still like, okay, fine. you ate something poisonous. I'll give you another 100 years on your life.
Right. They became spiritually dead, but he didn't kill them at that moment in life.
Right. I mean, he let them continue living, and he gave them a cloak, and he
He
gave them
didn't lie.
kids.
They did in fact
They
they
didn't.
did in fact die in the sort of literal plain sense. Eventually, he wasn't
There's
lying about that, and they did also die.
blind because he said you'll die in that day, and they didn't die in that day. Wow, what do you think about that? And then it's like, well,
It's just not how that works, you know.
there's a few different ways to read it. For one way is if you eat of that fruit in that day. I'm sorry, I should just get the verse, but like, I have a Bible right here, right here. I'll just
Mhm.
get it right here,
Good.
and it's good because it's only
We need to
like,
read the Bible more often.
it's just Genesis 1, so I should be able to find it. Is it Genesis? Might be Genesis 2. I should do scripture readings for live. All right.
We should do live scripture readings actually.
I should do those anyways, and then it'd be a good idea, you know.
Mhm.
I'm doing a lot right now. I wanted to invite people in to do stuff. I want to get some viewers.
We need to start working on more projects, Patrick.
I agree. This is a good
I
thing
have
that I'm
business
doing.
administration as one of my majors. As we go forward, I'll be able to have some ideas and I'll know ways of executing and managing them.
I want to get that medievalist guy on for an interview because he's a very interesting guy. We can make a nice thumbnail.
Hmm.
He's like me in a lot of ways, but he's like 40 years old, and he actually has articles, and he works with Identity Dixie, those guys, which is
Interesting.
connected to the League of the South. And it's interesting because he's actually a voluntarist and a medievalist guy, but he works with Identity Dixie and League of the South stuff, it seems.
Does he have like what are his educational credentials,
To
if
be
you
honest.
know?
He also has a book called Missing Medieval, or I'll just get it right now, because I
Okay.
think his name is Jeb Smith, maybe,
Is that his real name?
might be.
I feel that sounds like a pen name to me, but maybe not.
I might not be getting Smith right, but I know I'm
I
getting
have a
Jeb.
pen name, Judah Braun. Yeah,
Judah.
but when that's an anonymous author you recognize, find this clip. That's me.
Medieval South, and then I'll do Identity. Yeah, here we go. Reactionary Confederacy, Identity Dixie. We'll go on here. Go all the way down to the bottom because he quotes his book. He like talks about his book on this. His name really is Jeb Smith, so yeah. And his book was called Missing Monarchy,
Okay. Is it available on Amazon?
and he made defense. Yeah, it's literally available on Amazon. That's where I got it, or where I saw it at. And he said defending.
We should read his book and interview him about it.
He also had Defending Dixie's Land, what every American should know about the Civil War. He wrote that. His pen name is Isaac C. Bishop.
It's available on Audible? Holy shit. I could listen to his book as I drive back and forth to school, dude.
Missing Monarchy.
17-hour This is a scholarly text.
Is it which one? Missing Monarchy by Jeb
Yeah,
Smith?
Missing Monarchy by Jeb Smith, correct? It's a 17-hour and 16-minute long audiobook.
By the way, you'll love his book, The Reactionary not book, but like he has like 3 articles, The Reactionary Confederacy. And I was
All
gonna
right, now
interview him.
Patrick, let me
What?
tell you. I am 100% willing to read and to read his book and have an interview with him, 100% willing. But I need a water capitalism PDF.
All right.
I need a
I'll try
water
and-
cap.
I'll try
I
to work
need.
that out.
Come on, bro, please. We have 14 days, I think.
I'm gonna
13
read,
days.
I'm gonna read Jeb Smith's thing, and I'll tell you more. His about the author says Jeb Smith has authored 4 books. His most recent is Missing Monarchy: Correcting Misconceptions About the Medieval Ages, Medieval Kingship, Democracy, and Liberty. Previously, he published The Road Goes Ever On and On, a new perspective on J.R.R. Tolkien and Middle-earth. Smith has authored dozens of articles in various publications, including History Is Now magazine, Medieval History, the Post-Ill magazine, Medieval magazine, and Fellowship and Fairy Dust. He has also been featured on several podcasts, including the Lepanto Institute. That's interesting. Also, his Missing Monarchy book has like a 4.5 rating.
It's
So
great.
it's literally fire.
Sprouting my water capitalism right now.
Yeah, we can get
Fuck.
water capitalism. I know how to get
Showing
water
off my
capitalism.
water capitalism in Zoom.
Let me see. Oh. I mean, I can just go to r/piracy maybe. Their super mega thread. I should just send you their mega thread. I don't want to steal Walter Block's book. Although it is IP, so technically,
Listen,
Block
Walter
is selling
Block.
papers with designs on them. I am not taking any papers with designs on them.
I have I purchased Walter Block's books. And you know the thing is I'm going to purchase a copy of Water Capitalism. It's going to happen. I just also need to buy textbooks for next semester. So I I like having copies of books even if I've already read them. So Block need not worry. I just need a PDF for the coming interview.
What is it? Water capitalism?
Yeah, Water Cap. It's also co-authored by Peter Lothian, by the way.
Holy moly, it just popped right up. Okay. I want a PDF. Gosh, dang. Wait, what? There's another book called Water, Christianity, and the Rise of Capitalism by Terje Ostegard. That's interesting.
By the way, Patrick,
Yes.
frankly, I want to plan a date with the with Jeb Smith. I want to plan a date with Jeb Smith. Now, Patrick,
Yes.
I want us both to read the entirety of his book, and it is I don't know how many pages it is, but when I was looking at the audiobook part of it, it was 17 hours long. So we need enough time post block interview to be able to finish that book leading up to Jeb's interview. So,
We could set a date with Jeb Smith. I don't know if I can get the PDF from here. I'm trying to see. That's unfortunate. I'll find another way to do it.
You
But-
getting the Water Capitalism PDF, by the way?
I'm looking for it.
Okay, understood.
They
We
still
should get
have-
Logan on that. He seems to be good at that.
I might be able to reconcile Logan.
For a chance.
Get him in on it.
We'll have our homestead one day. I need to become a genius. I need to actually understand what I'm talking about. I think Alabama might be the spot for a while, Patrick.
Alabama.
You should come to my region for a period of time, and then after that period of time, I think Alabama might be the next stop.
For Rizzle.
And I have a few reasons for this. There are three key locations in Auburn, Alabama. The Mises Institute / the Mises Graduate School, Auburn University, and Christ Our Redeemer Seminary. They're three pivotal locations that I want to be involved in, and which I think could be of benefit to Contradvania.
True.
Christ Our Redeemer Seminary, by the way, it seems to have a heavy Presbyterian influence, but it's also partnered with Baptist churches. It's also partnered with an Anglican church. It's a Protestant seminary.
Oh, that's funny. Defendiendo lo indefendible is
True.
That's a book. They actually put Walter Block's book into Spanish and put his face, like his figure, on it.
They did that with Hoppa for a book too, I think.
Shoot. Can I read this book online? I kind of wanted to get the PDF. If I can get it up on here, I'd be pretty happy, I guess.
One of my favorite Walter Block moments was when he was like, "Undefendable's not a word. I'm such an idiot." And I don't know. I thought that was funny.
Huh.
In some interview, he was like, "I realized shortly after publishing the book that undefendable is not a word." It's hilarious, I think.
Is this book even that big?
I don't know. It's a 17-hour long audiobook. Or
No,
no. That's I'm
I mean,
retarded.
I mean the Walter
Yeah,
Block book.
water capitalism. You mean I'm being retarded?
Oh, no, it just won't let me read anymore unless I log in. That's unfortunate. What was the date we had set up with Block?
25th, I think. It's the last Monday.
Alright.
Yeah, last Monday.
Gotta clear out my tabs a little bit. Alright. 25th.
Expose the back of my head. Is it the 25th? It's the last Monday. Yeah, it's the 25th. It's 2 weeks from today, Patrick. We need to start getting this book done. And Speechify is good for turning it into audiobooks. It just sucks because all those references that Block likes to put at the bottom of his pages, you have to like manually skip them. But it does make it easier for me in particular to get it read.
Yeah, I could turn into a Speechify thing.
We
I don't
just
know
need the
if I-
PDF for that.
To be honest, as long as we get into some good parts in it, we won't have to. I don't think it'll be too hard. 'Cause Walter
Yeah,
Block
no,
was
I agree, but I do want to get the whole thing read, though. I'm trying to be a scholar. I'm
No,
trying to be well
I
read.
agree. I want to get the whole thing read too.
I need to be able to know what I'm talking about when I say Walter Block is in favor of water capitalism.
Right. Water capitalism. People even have.
There's a lot of things I want to be involved with in my life, Patrick. I want to be an Anglican bishop. I want to be a messianic rabbi. I want to be a political scientist. I want to be an economist. I want to be like an amateur martial artist and gym influencer. like when I have all these roles, I want like a side gig of having like a gym Instagram. You know what I mean? Be based.
Yeah.
There's a lot. I need to do all these things, and that requires that I read Water Capitalism.
Yes.
Cannot be a rabbi if I don't read Water Capitalism. As Walter Block says, he is deeply, deeply inspired by the Talmud. Everything he believes is based on Talmudic ruling.
Speaking of, I haven't gotten a response from Steven Anderson.
Yeah, that's good. That's fine.
I so want to. I should message him back. I haven't told Jeb Smith when I want to do the interview though. Might have to plan forward. Maybe we could just do a small interview over his articles and then schedule another one with him later.
I'd really rather have an interview with him about his full-on books so that we can have like a longer form discussion with him. Because I think,
It'd be okay.
with
just
Walter
to
with
have-
Walter Block, it's one thing. With him, I feel like we could have more of a like casual flow discussion going, which is in depth, probably.
Well, I mean,
That being, I want an interview with him about his book. I don't want like a formal recorded planned interview where we've just read a couple of his articles. I don't like the idea of that. Maybe if we had a bit more of a casual setup, but the Gentleman's Assembly isn't really framed like that at this time.
We could do it on mine.
I'd be fine with it. If you wanted like a more casual, just like talk on
Yeah.
yours, that's cool. But like, I'd like when it comes to like an hour long, like or longer YouTube video where we're having a full discussion about his book. I want that on the Gentleman's Assembly,
Yeah, we
and I
could do
want
the
that
full
planned for it.
discussion about the book on your channel, and we could do the short mini-sode on my channel
Mm-hmm.
as a means of collaboration.
Mini-sode.
Yeah, because I'd like to do a mini-sode with this guy just to see how he is, for
Mm.
one. Because,
I mean, he wrote a book. He should be based. Read as far as
well, I
I'm
mean, it's not
concerned.
just a book. It's like one of the most... The book,
Yes,
I
it's the
haven't read
book.
the book, so I can't talk about the book yet. But
Right.
if I have to talk about the articles he wrote, these are some of the most interesting articles I may have ever read. Because I'm a reactionary, libertarian Dixie guy. And thinking, is anybody really going to agree with that? Because I don't know if I can put together the tie and, like, have references. This guy has
Mm-hmm.
the references. He has the references out the wazoo.
Mm-hmm.
And they're pretty good. I mean, there's some quotes I was tempted on sending you quite a few times. Like, there's a lot of Southern quotes about democracy, and even Founding Father stuff.
Mm-hmm.
There was... I should just send them. Like, I should actually just read some of them to you, because he has his quotes put out there pretty well. Let me see. There's a thing on the Southern aristocracy. Here's W.J. Cash, the Mind of the South. Its social pattern was manorial. Its civilization was that of the cavalier. Its ruling class and aristocracy coextensive with the planter group. Men, often entitled to quarter the royal arms of St. George and St. Andrew on their shields, and in every case descended from the old gentlefolk who for many centuries had made up the ruling classes of Europe. They dwelt in large and stately mansions. Their estates were feudal baronies, their social life a thing of old world splendor and delicacy, wholly dominated by ideals of honor and chivalry, and noblesse, the home of a genuine and fully realized aristocracy. Very interesting to me. And then, they also have a screenshot in here from Gone with the Wind, which connects even more here, because this wasn't just the death of, like, the South and, a slightly decentralized republic. It was the death of basically feudalism. Like, the chance at getting back the manorial feudalist type of system,
Mm-hmm.
which was big.
The
There's...
heck is this?
What?
It's not what I typed in. Here, hold on. I'm just playing around with my backgrounds.
I'm looking. There is a part 3, so there are literally 3 whole parts. Here is the prologue to Gone with the Wind, which was quoted. There was a land of cavaliers and cotton fields called the Old South. Here in this pretty world, gallantry took its last bow. Here was the last ever to be seen of knights and their ladies fair, of master and of slave. Look for it only in books, for it is no more than a dream remembered, a civilization gone with the wind. Then there's even talks about how soldiers had noble qualities, like generals had noble qualities, where they actually had to be fighters more than just commanders. And they disciplined them in certain special medieval type ways.
Mm-hmm.
Here's one quote: "The Cavalier civilization, with its centers in the South, was in many particulars different from that of the Puritan. A close study of history will discover the fact that it brought across the ocean less of that restlessness and more of that restfulness. The continuity of these conditions accounts for the absence, in all her fair borders, of those isms which, like wasteful and destructive parasites, sapped the very life out of a people's faith both in God and in each other. Other there was among them. In the absence of manufacturing and large commercial centers, that freedom from restless change, hence it was, in the Old South, we were enabled to present that enviable condition of fixedness and stability which came of families living for generations with their servants on the same ancestral estates." I can find a lot of great quotes he had in here. There's some on slavery, which are good. There needs to be a lot of quotes on that. Oh, he even has a quote from C.S. Lewis at the very beginning. At the very beginning, he puts, "We all want progress, but progress means getting nearer to the place where you want to be. And if you have taken a wrong turning, then to go forward does not get you any nearer. If you are on the wrong road, progress means doing an about turn and walking back to the right road. And in that case, the man who turns back soonest is the most progressive man. There is nothing progressive about being pig-headed and refusing to admit a mistake. And I think, if you look at the present state of the world, it's pretty plain that humanity has been making some big mistake. We're on the wrong road, and if that is so, we must go back. Going back is the quickest way on." C.S. Lewis, The Case for Christianity. Very good quote. Here's one about democracy. "The majority means to plunder and wrong the minority. They mean to make the weaker section their tributaries. Between a representation incompetent to protect and no representation, there is no difference. What use is the right of suffrage when, if every man in the oppressed section should vote against the candidate of the stronger section, as the southern states did in the late presidential election, they cannot prevent his election. By the forms of a free government, therefore, a many-headed despotism may be established by a stronger section over a weaker section. Far worse than the despotism of one man. One man may have a conscience, but men, acting in masses, seldom exhibit conscientious scruples. Individuality and responsibility are lost in numbers. That a corporation has no soul is the proverbial aphorism of English law, indicating the unscrupulousness of men acting in masses. A single despot has no motive to oppress one portion of his people more than another. But here, one half of a country rises up to plunder and oppress another half." And this was from a report on the Committee of Foreign Affairs, CSA, 1861, and was provided by the Abbeville Institute. That's very amazing. Because even back then they were talking about how democracy was lame and bad. And there's many more quotes in here. There's "Give Me That Old Time Religion," where it equates a lot of the South to, like, old-time Catholicism, but Protestant. It basically says that the South is basically the feudal era, but Protestant, which is based. Here,
Catholic high society, but with white Southern Protestants.
the WASP feudal era.
It's true.
Incredibly based. And then on here it said, this is a quote from Gary Potter, Catholicism in the Old South. It says, "The Catholic influence in American society was much stronger in the less populous South than in the North. In a region where family mattered, numerous leading families were Catholic. Many leading Southern families that were not Catholic had members who were. They tended to have a high regard and deep respect for the Church and her institutions, especially her schools, An example in this regard is Jefferson Davis himself, the eventual
Hunter
president of the
Avallone's the
CSA.
server.
Yeah, I know, for real. He keeps talking about that thing.
No, please tell me he doesn't send the stream.
What?
It'd be funny if he sent the stream link and it was like, "This is my source."
He loves to do that type of stuff to me.
He literally sent my AMA to somebody as a fucking source once.
It's so funny. It's terrible, too. It's funny and terrible.
It's true.
It's really something. I can't find a lot of the quotes on here because the big quotes are in their own sections. Everything else is kind of just like slightly quoted. Jeb Smith said the most base stuff in this thing then, if I'm not finding the best quotes here. Jeb Smith is an incredibly base guy. I emailed him a little bit, and he's like, I too am a voluntarist.
Watch this.
I think I'm going to wrap up my stream here in a second. But yeah, Jeb Smith also
I muted you. You have to unmute. I didn't realize I muted you like that.
Alright.
Hello, hello.
Yeah, anyway, I said I was going to finish up the stream in a moment. But
Right.
Jeb Smith also made a recent article called, it was Secular Religions, which is so based in one point that I definitely have to check that out too. I mean, all of his articles, I just want a pile of them. They're great, I bet.
Let's see.
When you find a guy who's just based like yourself and is the same as you just want all their stuff just laid out.
Right.
I remember that when I was learning about, even if it's not an obscure guy, when you just find a guy that you don't know a lot about and you want to just get in depth, like, I got this way about, like, kind of Hans Hoppe, Ron Paul, that stuff. That's why it was some of the first books I ever read, like, as free time books, were Hans Hoppe's Democracy, the God That Failed. Because I was just so interested. Because I hate reading. Reading is not a good pastime for me. I don't like it that much. But once they actually have
Kings
good
read
articles,
for their jobs.
True. Once they had good articles, I was like, okay, pretty based. It's silent wisdom. I'll just call it the silent wisdom method.
I forget who said it, but some philosopher said something along the lines of reading books is like having conversations with like ancient minds or something. Like the great minds of past.
That's why I also really want to look at like feudal era books and things like that. That's so interesting. That's why the Machiavellian school of politics is so much better than any of the newer ones. Even though some people accuse Machiavelli of being like this evil, sadistic freak who hated God. I don't think that was actually what he was on about. I think he was just like, we can love God, but for you to be successful in politics, you gotta do stuff. Gotta get down and dirty if you really want to get successful. And people who do get down.
It's true.
There's another theory where it's like he was warning the people who were gonna find the book about how people in politics behave and what they need to understand about politicians, which is valid. Alright, I'm going to turn off my stream now. If anybody's interested and they got this far in my stream, definitely come back for the next one.
True.
We got 14 views.
You're gonna miss out on my beautiful background.
Somehow we got 14 views on this stream.
Look at that. It's a boat in a lovely lagoon.
Nice.
It's a boat in a lovely lagoon.